What's going on YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg or Chris, and today I'm back with another Toedscruel video. I haven't played Toedscruel EX in a super long time, and it's safe to say that this is still one of my favorite decks to revisit. With the Protective Mycelium attack, it is the perfect ability into a Dragapult dominated meta where you prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to all of your Pokemon that have energy attached. With Colony Rush, you do 80 damage plus 40 more for each benched Pokemon that has a grass energy attached. So when you pair this Pokemon with Teal Mask Ogerpon, you can fill your bench with Ogerpons, attach energy to all of them via Teal Dance, and use manual attachments and energy switches to move energy to other Pokemon and have a massive bench with Area 0 to, after all that is said and done. It sounds like a lot, honestly. It doesn't combo that, like, it's not that hard a combo to pull off. When all that's said and done, you can swing for some insane numbers, and even one-shot Dragapults, and Charizards are the other big stage 2 deck. You can one-shot that very easily because we're a grass type, so we're swinging for weakness, which is a very, very good thing to have. We also have access to the single prize Toedscruel. With Slime Mold Colony, cards in your opponent's discard pile cannot be put into their hands by the effect of abilities or trainer cards. So what that means is against Goldengo, they cannot use Superior Energy Retrieval to take all the energy they discarded to KO Toedscruel back into their hands. So if they do not have boss KO on the single prize Toedscruel immediately, they are kind of cooked. And even if they boss KO it, you know, they'll get rid of energy, and then on your following turn, you can use the one copy of Night Stretcher or Rod plus Ultra Ball, Rod plus Bug Catching Set to dig out the single prize Toedscruel again, get it back in play, and kind of keep your opponent searching for the cards they need to no avail. Now, the rest of the deck is very simple. This is one of the things that I've always loved about Toedscruel, is you've got so many lines that you could take in your match, but the deck list itself is very simple, very easy to run, it's very easy to create, and there's still room for different techs. Like, I have a bunch of single prize options that you could use in this deck, such as the single prize Ogerpon, the single prize Zarude, and I believe in the next set, Journey Together, there's a Pinsir that comes out that's actually not bad in the set. It's either the next set or the set after that. I've seen a couple people using the Pinsir, but regardless, this deck has options. It's very versatile. For now, I'm trying to break it down to the simplest list I can, where we have the single prize Budew, which can always item lock our opponent. I'm just playing 4 copies of this, Spore Toedscruel. There is a Toedscruel at 60 HP that has a 1 retreat cost, which I was flip-flopping between using a 2-2 line of this Toedscruel and that Toedscruel, but, I mean, I don't know, I like Spore, I like putting my opponent to sleep. I'm just running Mew and Fez as my draw engine. I mean, Fez is perfect. Most times we are getting KO'd in 1 or 2 shots. We can draw pretty consistently, and Mew for restart is huge. Plus, genome hacking comes in clutch more often than I'd like to admit in this deck in my time playing it. Now, we are playing 3 copies of Area 0 Underdepths to make sure that since we have a bunch of Ogerpon in play anyways, we could get a huge bench and then build it up big, get energy attached to all of them. We've got 13 energy in our deck, with our A spec being Legacy Energy. So, and this is why I'm not playing any of those single prize options, because we can make a Toedscruel EX a single prize attacker by attaching Legacy Energy to it. So it becomes a pretty effective one prize, disruption type attacker. Our items for the deck, again, want to keep super high counts of a bunch of items. We got 4 copies of Bug Catching Set to draw energy and grass Pokemon. We got 4 copies of Nest Ball to get all of our Pokemon that we need to get in play immediately. I'm thinking predominantly Fezandipiti, Mew, and Toedscools, excuse me. The reason being Toedschools might be more important than Ogerpons in some scenarios is Ogerpon we can get down and get energy attached to almost immediately, whereas Toedscruel we need to evolve into Toedscruel. So getting this Pokemon down and searching it immediately with this is more definite than a Bug Catching Set. I was thinking as well on having like a 2-2 line or a 3-1 line on 3 Nest Balls and 1 Bug Catcher, not Bug Catcher, Buddy Poffin. I still think that's a valid option, and this is what I mean where this deck is very versatile. You can play it in many different ways. I don't think that's a bad option to play at all. The reason I'm not playing Asui and Lilligant in this deck is I think that actually hurts the consistency more. I think too often that's too easy a 2-prize Pokemon for your opponent to boss KO, or, you bench it on the first turn and it could get donked immediately, like a Lilligant V is not a very tanky Pokemon. I don't think it's worthwhile. I think this deck is consistent enough without it, and with rotation coming up, I wanted to make this list rotation proof, and right now it is. Our other items for the deck, we got a good bit of recovery in the deck. We're playing 1 Super Rod as well as 1 Energy Retrieval and 1 Night Stretcher. Now, those 2 items together combine to make, like, Super Rod just straight to your hand, which I always like. But if you want to save a little bit of space with the card, you could do 2 Super Rod and then get rid of Energy Retrieval and Night Stretcher and have that space for something else, which I also think is a good option. We got 2 copies of Ultra Ball because usually, especially when you're searching for evolution Pokemon, you can dig them out with Bug Catching Set, but just guaranteeing it once or twice with Ultra Ball always feels pretty good. But I don't think you need 4 copies of Ultra Ball in the deck. We are playing a high count of research and Iono. That is where our consistency is really going to come from. We got 4 research, 4 Iono. Because we're playing 4 research, there are going to be some times where you have to just accept that you're discarding some phenomenal cards, but it's at the cost of playing the game, which is always nice. We are playing 2 copies of Boss's Orders with our 1 counter catcher will be our Gust for the deck, and we got 1 copy of Briar, which is going to be one of the most slept on cards in this deck. This one I don't see in every Toedscool list. I've come to really like it in mine, since every now and then you will get a good attack off with Ogerpon. So just using Briar to make Ogerpon take an extra prize card if your opponent has exactly 2 prize cards remaining is a huge draw to the late game. Between Briar and Legacy Energy, I feel like if you could pull off one of them successfully in a game, your chances of winning increase exponentially, so I really like having both those cards in the deck. Now, oh my gosh, I'm like choking on my words. I could barely talk this morning. I apologize. That's pretty much it for the list. I hope you guys enjoy the Toedscruel deck. I definitely can't wait to get back into it. And if you haven't seen it, I got that TCG Player affiliate link in the description down below. So if you're going to TCG Player to already order any singles, decks, or deck accessories for any card game, doesn't matter what, make sure you hop on over to TCG Player via my link in the description, and you will support the channel in a huge way. So thank you so much to everyone who's been doing that. Now, with that being said, let's hop into today's video and see how well Toedscruel EX can do. Welcome to match number 1. We are up against something. I mean, they got metal and grass. My opponent's taking 1 mulligan and a knockdown. I don't know off the top of my head what I'm up against. They got Umbreon sleeves. Maybe it is an evolution deck and they got Umbreon. I don't actually know the energy cost of Umbreon or some of the more niche evolution Pokemon. So that would be pretty cool to see. I'm curious. All right. And we draw an even better card for a hand. So now we got Toedscool. We got Ogerpon. We got Toedscruel in hand. I got an energy to attach to Toedscool. I got research. I will have to get rid of Briar, but like, again, you know, you can't always research away like perfect cards. Sometimes you have to research away cards you want to keep more than anything, just to make sure you're playing very, very consistently you're playing fast. And I think Toedscruel, one of the best ways to play is to try to just overwhelm your opponent. With the right hand, like even a decent setup, you can set up so unbelievably fast. So just making sure you get into it, you get active, you start just being as aggressive as possible early, even if you have to sack a card like Briar. I think that's an important way to play. I think that's an important way to just make sure you're being the aggressor. You've always got enough Pokemon with energy in play that you can KO whatever's in the active spot. My opponent is going with Wellspring Ogerpon. Okay, that could be a bit of a problem if they saw block Budew. They would need double turbo energy for me to be scared about that, but I would probably eventually kill them since I'll be doing 10 damage a turn. And they played metal and grass, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's the Ogerpon. Okay, so the metal energy is throwing me off. I was going to say, maybe it could be like an Ogerpon box or something like that, but the metal energy is throwing me off a ton. What else you got? What else you got in store for us? But it's going to be, actually, no, I was going to say we could Briar something, KO it pretty easy, but that won't matter because we are going to research it away this turn. Unless I top deck Iono. That's the only way I don't immediately get rid of this Briar. Now they could, again, saw block our Budew, leave it in the active one more turn, then we would like it to be, but I'll at least be able to tell my opponent they can't use items, which I prefer. So we'll get an energy down on Toedscruel. Since I am going to research, actually, am I going to research? I feel like I should. I could get rid of one Toedscruel. I could like rod these back or something like that. I want to play research. I want to just make sure I got everything I need. We are going to take out another Toedscool, just in case. And we got one Toedscruel EX in the deck, so I will need to use Rod or Night Stretcher on my other Toedscruels, which is fine. And we'll go research here, get rid of Briar, draw 7 new cards, and hopefully get something a little bit more playable. This I like. We got Bug Catching Set. I will gladly take 2 energy out with this. And then we can use some Teal dances. Now, research next turn might hurt more than anything we've ever seen, because I got 2 Boss's Orders in hand. But if it's at the cost of playing the game, that's something I'll have to accept and move on from. So we'll get some energy down there. We got some more energy, and you know what? Actually, I'll bench another Ogerpon. We'll get one more Teal dance out. Why not? Why not? We got an energy in hand. I got research. If I got to do this whole game without boss, I'll do this whole game without boss. And we got Night Stretcher. That's huge. That's huge. Okay. Now we'll Uchipan. Now I can Night Stretcher, take out Toedscruel EX, and I've pretty much got myself a guaranteed attacker with this guy. I got a manual attach, Night Stretcher to evolve, research, boom, we're swinging. Oh, and I'll play Area 0 Underdepths to make sure we got a big bench. Now, unless I can take a 2-prize KO without using research and using boss, I will most likely be using research. I want to 2-4-6 this deck as well as I can. And right now they cannot use items, so there is a chance they might not be able to set up Ogerpon perfectly. They can't use Earthen Vessel or anything of the sort to get them a energy they need, whether it's Energy Lotto for it to search out a double turbo energy, Earthen Vessel to get some basic energy in play. They gotta just have it in hand. Sob is a colorless energy attack cost. There is a good chance they can pull it off, but we'll see. Either way though, I'm curious to see what my opponent is playing. If it is an Ogerpon box, like it popped up a regional or two ago, like the Terastallized box. I forgot who was piloting it, but it was a pretty cool list, and a lot of people seem to think it's really going to take off into the next set. And they go Energy Switch Sparkling Crystal. They can put Sparkling Crystal on Ogerpon and use Sob. That is a play I did not expect, but would be pretty cool. And Crispin to get some energy attached. All right, that's fair. Oh, and they could go Torrential Pump. Take out my Toedschools immediately. That's annoying. No, they can't. No, they can't. They can't. It's not 120. I was like, it's 120 damage to 2 Pokemon. It's not. It's 100 to the active, 120 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So they can take out a Toedscool. That's problematic, but it's not the end of the world. And they got the manual attach. Yep, they got the water energy. So they can use Torrential Pump. Take out Budew and Ogerpon. All right. That's cool. We just got to respond with the good Toedscruel follow-up, which we could do. We could do. We got this. I believe. I believe in this deck. My opponent is going to take the first 2-prize KO, which is very problematic, but I believe in the tank potential of our deck. From what I'm seeing, they don't have, knock on wood, anything insane that's going to one-shot me immediately. They got a couple Ogerpons out, but I'm not too scared of either of those. And we got a good hand to get a decent follow-up. We will be losing boss's orders, but I've got a feeling my opponent's just going to have 2-prize Pokemon in the active anyways. And we still have Counter Catcher, so we can't sleep on that too. So we'll go Area 0 Underdepths. We'll make both benches bigger. Why not? I'm going to need to at some point, and I'm going to research this turn, so I might as well do it now. We're going to go Night Stretcher. I'm going to take out Toedscruel EX. We are then going to evolve, attach to active. I could get Legacy Energy, which could be pretty cool. Alright, let me use 2 Teal Dances first. And we'll see if we draw anything important off of these. Because if I get Iono like that, that would be preferred. Energy Retrieval. We do have 1 energy in the discard pile. We actually could get some value out of that if we absolutely need to. And if I have to research and get rid of these, that's perfect. That's all I needed to attack with Toedscruel. Now we can boss KO something else. Which might work out a lot better for us. And we get Iono to keep our bosses. Yeah, we're alright. Okay, so we'll go Energy Retrieval for 1. Just guarantee the attack. We'll manual attach to active. We'll use Energy Switch to move an energy from 1 Ogerpon over to the active here. And then we'll go Iono to make my opponent's hand down to 4 cards, as well as give us a new 6, allowing me to keep my boss's orders. Toedscruel's Toedschooling. We're good. We're good. We're doing alright. And I got Fez too. Okay. We could actually play a lot of these cards. Just kind of thin the deck down. Do I want to rod here? Not necessarily. Not yet. I'd rather flip the script. I need a couple energy switch. 1 energy switch might... Yep, that would do it. That is what we need. Alright. So we'll go Nest Ball again. And I will take down... Honestly, give me another Toedscool. Yeah. Let's do this. And then I can use E-Switch to move a grass energy from this guy to Toedscool. I like this. I like this. And we'll go KO for 240. Alright. Perfect. Actually, I think we had KO because we were swinging 200. So I think we had KO no matter what. But now this feels safer. And I like safety. I like feeling good. The 10 damage from Budew actually was like insanely relevant right there. And we got Toedscruel EX out of the prizes. Alright. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with fire. My opponent's got 5 cards in hand and a Dream. They're going to need a ton of energy on their Teal Mask Ogerpon to pull off a KO this turn. And they have Knockdown, so they can get a couple cards needed. Their A-Spec is down, though. We want to save ours for this Toedscruel EX that's going to go down right here. And make this guy a good single prize, or disrupt their prize trade a little bit. Ideally, I would have liked my active to have the Legacy Energy to just make sure that I'm putting them on a prize card now, but it's not the end of the world. If they take 2 prize KO, No, we still can't Briar. I still got rid of it. Man, I was going to say, like, we got a Briar line coming up, but we don't. We don't. I lied. I'm a liar. I apologize. Because this Ogerpon, actually, this guy right here, he could get super, super powered up. We've already got 2 energy down on it, and I'm not even considering using him as an attacker just yet, but he might be our late game sweep, depending on how much energy we could beef up to that guy. Or Mew EX. I don't even mind the Mew EX here as like a setup, you know, use a couple energy switches onto that guy. I do want to get the single prize Toedscruel in play, and they got the Pikachu. Okay, now this makes sense. They had grass and metal. Forgot Pikachu EX exists. So they could use Topaz Bolt, but we could boss around that potentially. Would they take off that knocked out? Energy switch, Earthen Vessel with Crispin. All right, they can 100% take a KO with Mew or with Pikachu this turn. But is that going to save them? Because then they'll get rid of 3 energy, and they've got no sort of knocked owl. They don't have any more Hoot-Oots in play. Nothing yet. They got the electric energy to hand, the grass energy to Pikachu. They got the manual attach. Wait, they need another grass energy, though, to pull. Actually, they need a few things to pull this off. Because they also need to get this. Oh, no, they have a free retreat. They don't need any energy on the active. They need to manual attach the electric energy to Pikachu, but then you need an Ogerpon. You need to get a metal energy down somehow. Like, I feel like that grass energy maybe should have gone to hand so that they could use Teal Dance to attach it, energy switch to Pikachu, manual attach the electric energy, but you still needed that metal energy. So I feel like they might be an energy short. And if we could take another 2 prize KO this turn, that'd be huge. And I'm going to fly through my deck. I'm going to research. I want to make sure I end up with, like, boss in my hand so that I could boss up this Latias EX for game. I don't even have to worry about Resolute Heart Pikachu. I'll just dance my way around that guy if you don't mind. It's a scary attacker. It's going to do a lot of damage to us. And if I could just not worry about KO on it, because it's got a good defensive ability, that would be awesome. And they have just passed 4 turn. They might be feeling a little scared here. So we might have to Rod here out of principle just to get some energy down. We're going to Teal there, or just to get value out of the Rod. And we need the single prize Pokemon anyways. Get another grass energy. It's actually sweet. I definitely will take that. And we can use all these Ogerpons, get a whole bunch of energy attached. We're swinging 240, 1 manual attached, 280. All right, now is when we go Rod. So I can dig out the single prize Toedscool. You know what? I'll leave Budew in the discard, but I will take another Toedscool. Just in case. We're going to use this Teal Dance here, just to draw 1. Dig a little deeper before our Bug Catching Set. We are going to research away to Area Zeros, which is scary, because we'll have no stadiums left. So I'll take a Grass Energy to manual attach. I don't want to take Toedscruel EX, just because I want the single prize Toedscruel in play, so I'll attach that energy to Mew. We're swinging 280. I'll research, get rid of the rest of our stadiums. If my opponent gets rid... Ooh, this is sweet. All right, we'll get rid of these guys. I don't need these guys anymore. We successfully have everything I need in the deck, in the hand, you name it. We could have taken Ogerpon there and then used Teal Dance to swing at 320. I'll just throw that out there to show that it's very possible. It's not super hard to do and take out like Dragapults in one shot. But I want the single prize Toedscool in play. So now we'll use Colony Rush for 280, take 2 prize cards. I got Boss in hand. So I can get around Pikachu EX. I can just take a Latias for a game, which should hopefully wrap up match number 1. Now my opponent can very easily KO my active with Pikachu. That is if they're still there. They may have tabbed out. I'm not sure. They might have been upset that they didn't take that KO on the last turn. I think they needed to. Just to keep up. They still would have been stuck this turn, because then, like, let's say they pulled off the KO. We didn't have to attach to Mew. We could have attached to Toedscruel. We could have promoted Toedscruel, you know, done our thing, attacked. We actually would have been able to use Fez that turn, draw even deeper, look for Legacy Energy. But more importantly, my opponent would have discarded 3 energy from their Pikachu. They did not get any more Hoot-Toots in play, so I don't know what they would have searched out to get 3 energy on Pikachu immediately. It didn't seem like their hand had much more. They would have attacked last turn, and if they did that, they would have used those cards, so their hand would have been even smaller. And this is what I mean. Like, I don't think they had it. I think they ran out of steam a bit too quick. And we've entered the flow state at this point. I mean, I think I'm gonna wait to attach a Legacy Energy to this guy. I think I'm just gonna beef up Ogerpon, assuming my opponent is actually present. I don't know if they are. Actually, I feel like if they weren't present, knocked out, because it's the farthest left. would have been promoted. Either knocked out or Pikachu would have been the default one. So I think my opponent is still there, just trying to figure out a way out. But anyways, regardless, I apologize. I'm just going to beef up this Ogerpon. Just going to get a bunch of energy, you know, use Teal Dance on this guy, use Energy Switch off this Ogerpon to this Ogerpon, and just get as many energy down as possible. You never know when you need an insane Ogerpon sweep. And what's nice, if my opponent boss KOs it, I don't lose much damage off Toedscruel. I only lose 40 damage, because all that matters is how much grass energy attached to all my benched Pokemon. So as long as a bunch of benched Pokemon just have 1 energy, we're actually chilling. So it's a good investment to every now and then just set up a little Ogerpon. You know, if they go boss KO, they're still sleeping on Toedscruel, and that's fine. But yeah, I think my opponent is tapped out. I have no idea why Latios was prevented, and boom, there it is. My opponent was inactive. So it's going to be match number 1. We forced our opponent to run out of steam pretty quick. We kept up with the pace, even fighting from behind, and we were able to take down the Terra Box deck with Toedscruel. Let's hop into match number 2 and see if we can continue the positivity and guarantee the positive record for the deck. Welcome to match number 2. We're up against a Festival Leads deck. Now this could be a rather difficult matchup for us, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they got the technology to deal with us very well. You know, if they play Max Belt, they could one shot our Toedscool EX. Obviously, they will need 2 full attacks, which means they'll need their stadium in play. And actually, that Toedscruel may be a huge saving grace for us. Sadly, I'm gonna have to just research it away. I think for us, it's gonna be important to go Budew this turn and just hope we get something better off the what do you call it? Off the research that we're also gonna have to rip here. So we'll get an energy down there. Oh, actually, you know what? I'd so much rather Iono. We got too many valuable cards in the deck. I don't want to bench Area Zero now. I want to save my Area Zero to get rid of their Festival Leads stadiums. I do not want to lose Toedscool, Rod, Legacy Energy. I could attach to Ogerpon if I needed to. I don't want to. I'd rather just Iono here. Just get us a new hand. I just need a Toedscool or 2 down, and well, naturally I'd miss it all. Okay. Well, that's fine. 1 Teal Dance, 1 Nest Ball. I got the dream. I got the vision. What are we seeing? What am I looking at? Another energy switch. All right. Well, you know, it was cool. It was a cool thought, wasn't it? Let's just itchy palm. Man. All right. I can pull off an attack next turn with Ogerpon. If I need to use another turn of Budew, if they don't take a KO somehow, I'll do that. They can't use items, so I guess maybe they can't use their Bug Catching Sets that are most likely in their hand and get the Pokemon they need. Like Bug Catching Sets, Ultra Balls, they have a bunch of items to search out evolution Pokemon. They might not have those right now. I lied, actually. They just have Thwacky in hand. And if they have a Festival Lead ability in the active, they can search a card. And there's Festival Grounds. They have the Stadium, too. What else did I know them into? Just, let's see it. Let's see it all. What else they got? An Iono. Alright, yes, they'll get it. They're drawing 6 cards here. There's no way they don't. We're gonna get a new 6, which is pretty good, actually. My hand was nothing too awesome. I do get my own Bug Catching Set, Ultra Ball. Briar's gonna be essential this match. Briar, Legacy Energy, I need to use them both perfectly. I don't think this is a match where I can handle losing Briar. Reason being, it's a single prize deck, man. If I don't attack consistently on a single prize deck, I am cooked. So taking an extra prize card does give me a little bit of extra room. And they just pass. Alright, that's actually pretty sweet. I don't think I could pull off a KO with my active. But that's alright. I could just Itchy Pollen again. Which I like. I like the most. Let me Bug Catching Set before I Teal Dance. Just see what I get. I will take... You know what? I'll take these guys. I just want to establish a couple Toedschools in case they pull off like a KO or 2. I don't know what my opponent's got in store for us. I am going to Teal Dance 1 energy down onto Ogerpon. And then I can manual attach the other to Toedscool, depending on what I get from this Bug Catching Set. We'll take an energy. We'll take it. We'll take it. Because that is another Teal Dance, and I still have my manual attachment, which is good. But I might not do it. I might need a Teal Dance next turn, too. Oh, my God. This is a mess. Countercatcher. It's actually a pretty good card. I'll attach this here. We actually do have a KO next turn. We got Ultra Ball and Energy Switch, so we can pull off a good KO with Toedscruel next turn. For now, let's just go Itchy Pawn again. Force my opponent to not be able to use items one more turn. If they pull off the KO here, they pull off the KO here. I'll promote Ogerpon. They won't be able to one-shot Ogerpon after using their first attack to KO Budew, which is the most important thing. And then I can still retreat into Toedscruel. They won't have much HP, so I should be able to KO them pretty effectively. They could use Rapid Draw 2 cards. Alright. That's vaguely problematic. And they got Armin, so they could take an item and a tool card. The item card is useless. There's nothing that they can do with that since I do have them under the Itchy Pollen item lock. So we'll see what else, what tool they have that might buy them, an attack here. Get them going. I don't have much going for me right now. I'm kind of in a bit of a bricked hand. I've got no playable supporters, not for a long time at least. I need to Ultra Ball something else away. If I get research, honestly, I'm not going to use it. I need to keep Briar. This is a situation where it's like it doesn't... We're attacking, that's what's important. Rescue board. If they have an energy in hand, they can use Boom Boom Groove. They can use Rapid Draw to draw 4 cards because they will take 1 prize card with a KO and Budew. They will use the Festival Lead ability to allow them to take an extra attack with the Rapid Draw again. So I do really, really want another Iono if I could get that. And yeah, they could just search for an energy too. So if they didn't have an energy now, they definitely do now because they could just use Boom Boom Groove to search out the grass energy needed to attack with Seeking. They don't need a grass energy specifically, but they need a grass energy for Festival Lead, for Applin, Diplin. So that's probably the energy that they're playing in this deck, since Seeking is just a colorless energy, and so is the Goldeen, which could be an energy disruption card. Both of which are going to be insanely annoying to deal with. They might just search out another Thwacky here, just establish... That would be the smart play, I think. Get 3 Thwackies. Have those established for pretty much every turn following this one. Man, what I would do to top deck Iono. What I would do. Alright, we'll see what we got. I have a KO. That's what's important. I also... Man, I'll be doing 80 damage. I can't even KO Seeking without another energy attached. This isn't good. This is very bad. Because I have to attach Retreat. And then I'll have to E-switch an energy off of it. Gosh. Alright. It's fine. They'll take their 1 prize card here. They're going to have a massive hand going into next turn. This is why I want Iono. I mean, they'll still be able to do so much. Because they got... they'll have access to items again from now on. I'm not bringing Budew back. And they'll have 3 Boom Boom Grooves a turn. This might not be a good matchup for the deck. I don't know if we could pull this one off. We're going to try, though. We're going to try. We got Briar. We got Legacy Energy. We definitely have the technology to give us a chance. It just might not be perfect. And that's okay. That happens sometimes. You know, it's not like it's a common deck. If you're worried about Festival Leads, there must be 7 of them at your locals because I don't run into it too much. An energy top deck there is actually so nice. All right. So I'm going to Ultra Ball away, Counter Catcher, and Energy Switch. Because I need the last 3 cards from my deck. I could take Fezandipiti. That seems like a gamble. But at this point, I feel like a gamble is what I can't handle anything less. We'll take Fez, we'll draw 3. And then I'll use Teal Dance and draw 1 with Energy Switch. I need a Toedscruel EX. Iono will do it. Iono will get us there. Iono will get us to where I need to be. We will use Teal Dance to get an energy attached to this Ogerpon. Another energy is actually huge. Okay, so I can retreat now. Go in with Toedscool. Because again, we got to bank on taking a KO. We can't miss a beat this game. It's just we don't have that type of luxury. But I have Iono, so I can conserve my Briar a little bit longer. Mew is pretty nice too. Honestly, I'll bench the Mew. I don't need much damage done. We are swinging for KO now, assuming we can actually evolve. So this is fine. I'm not going to use my next energy switch just because I actually might want to get the single prize Toedscool in play. I'm not sure. Might want to use Mew potentially. And just copy their attack with Mew and just take a KO that way. It'd still use both attacks on it. This hurts. This hurts. We could do it though. Alright, well, Bug Catching Set. I should have manual attached this Legacy Energy, huh? Oh my god, I whiffed it. No. That's bad. That's bad. And I'm down my rod, aren't I? No, I am not. I am down 3 Bug Catching Sets. Oh my lord. Alright. I do have Legacy Energy, so I could actually make my active Toedscool a single prizer. And then use Energy Switch. Actually, you know what? I got a vision. I got a plan. We are going to use Energy Switch move this energy down onto Mew. Why not? Let's have some fun this match. Let's be a little, you know, a little versatile. Show off some different lines in this deck, and we'll restart for 3. Get us back a little bit of a hand. And you know what? Bug Catching Set, Ogerpon, these are cards I'll take. I'll play the Bug Catching Set. We got no more left. I will take out the other Ogerpon. I'm probably not going to need it. I can research it away. What's important is I have research. So I can draw 7 cards next turn after my top deck, so I will see 8 cards. And we'll take a KO. So we will tie my opponent up on prizes. I'm not able to get off Area 0 Underdepths. So that hurts. And 1 second. Okay. I'm back. Sorry. I had a small sneezing fit. I still think I'm getting over that cold. I work in a school, so, you know, if you've been around kids enough, you know that sometimes they carry some crazy little sicknesses about them. And safe to say I caught one last week, and I'm, like, relatively fine. I've got, like, a bit of a lingering, like, congestion at this point, so, you know, we're trying our best. We're doing what we can to make it through. Anyways, my opponent has what they need to get a Dipplin with an energy in the active spot, which means they could use 3 Boom Boom Groove, search for basically everything they want. And I'd assume Max Belt is going to be one of the cards they search for. If they get Max Belt, they actually will be able to KO my Toedscruel this turn. However, they will only get 1 prize card off of it, which is what I need. I needed to use Legacy and Briar effectively. We are getting value out of the Legacy energy right now. Unless they go Boss's Orders. That actually wouldn't be too bad a play for my opponent, would it? Probably not. Probably not. I have to be careful for, like, Vitality Bands, Defiant Bands, stuff like that. Like, Ogerpons might not even be the best attacker. We might actually have to do the rest of this with just Toedscruel EXs. Just to dodge KOs from Defiance Bands and the like. So they got down a Dipplin and Boss's Orders. Yep, there it is. So actually that's alright. That's alright. My Toedscruel is still in the active spot. Who are you taking? You'll take the Ogerpon that's damaged. That's fine, right? Because the most you could do is 150 if you get Max Belt down. And you're just going to do the wave. So you'll use 2 attacks to KO my Ogerpon. I have 2 Ogerpons in hand. I will bench 1. I will use 2 Dance. I'll promote Toedscruel. I can research, then use Fez and Mew. We'll be okay. I am down 2 Ionos. I do have to be careful not to deck out. This is going to be a test of longevity. I don't like my odds this match. They can one-shot us a bit too easily. But we'll do what we can. I think the single prize Toedscruel is going to be our best friend. Honestly, could even be a potential attacker. Could take out a Dipplin. Actually, when I put it like that, it does 80 damage, doesn't it? Might be the first time ever a Toedscruel player is going in with that card. So we'll use a Teal Dance here, and we'll draw a card. See what I get. We get Rod. I do want to play the Rod. I kind of want to just take back all the energy I can. Just all 3 energy. I need it. I'm going to need every single one. Not for extra damage, but to set up some big 3 energy attackers. We're then going to use Research. You know what? I couldn't pull off the Iono. It's not the end of the world. We will Stadium Bump them. And we can then use... There's not a... No. Okay, I don't want to use Night Stretcher yet. I guess I'd rather just... What? It's Nest Ball. See what I got in here. Is there anything worthwhile? Another Toedscruel. Honestly, yeah. I'm gonna need another Toedscruel. We'll use Flip the Script, then Teal Dance. In case I need to attach this energy to a different Pokemon that's not Ogerpon here, I'll just see if I can draw and see what I need off Fez. I can't, which is fine. I do have Energy Retrieval, though, so don't mind if I just take a couple energy now. And now I can Teal Dance. And I feel a little bit better about this. Alright, cool. So get that down. And there's the single prize. That's what I was looking for. And this guy does how much damage? He does 80, right? Yes, he does. And he has 120. That's perfect. Alright, let's get this guy set up. How many energy switch do I have at the deck? I got 1 left. That's good. That's good. That's essential. Alright. Please Colony Rush for 240. Doing 8 quadrillion more damage than I need to. Now, my opponent can probably just search out what they need, right? To carry them through the rest of the game. Yeah, they might. Because they could just look for, like, Boss's Orders, Festival Leads, and an Energy, if nothing else. And just take a KO and, like, Mew EX. Take 2 prize cards. I guess I could Iono them to 1, but then they could still search 3 cards. Ah, man. But they're only taking one prize card here, only if they KO Toedscruel. If they KO Mew, they KO Mew. I'm still kind of cooked no matter. I didn't get access to... No, I need them to take out Toedscruel so I can use Briar. Man, dude. Oh, gosh. This is bad. This is bad news, Bears. We'll see what they got. And they got Dipplin, too, so that's another Pokemon they don't have to search out. It means next turn they'll be able to use triple Boom Boom Groove. It just, this deck does so well into Stage 2, into 2 prize decks that can only attack one Pokemon at a time. They don't have to worry about any bench attacks. They don't have to, like, this deck into Dragapult is not good. This deck into decks like Toedscruel, Raging Bull, and stuff like that, oh my god, it does awesome. It does wonders. Alright, we gotta get rid of one Pokemon. Honestly, I could get rid of the Ogerpon. We really don't need it. Like, I'll keep Fez, I'll keep Mew. I guess I could have gotten rid of Mew. Maybe that was a smart pick to get rid of Mew. I just wanted to draw. They go Boss. I know I messed up. Yeah, I'm gonna bum that one. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they have a tool anyways. Like, if I got rid of Mew, they could just attach Vitality Band, Max Belt, which there's a good chances they're A-Spec, boss up any other basic EX Pokemon, and still one-shot that Pokemon. Like, we were still in the same boat that we were in. Alright, that's cool. That's cool, it's alright. What you got? You're searching for a card. What am I gonna see? Hit play. You've used your 3 Boom Boom Grooves, so we need an Energy, there it is, and a Boss's Orders on Mew. In 3, 2, 1, Boss. Nope, Ultra Ball. Wow, that's a pretty cool countdown, though. I actually nailed them playing a card. What are you searching for, though? I'm lost. Unless maybe they don't have any boss. Defiance Band is gone, actually. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. They're going to be ahead like the rest of the game. Yeah, it's fine. Gosh. That's annoying. Take another Applin for what? You're just toying with me now, man. There's nothing I can do against this. Unless they whiff the KO. If they just swing into Toedscruel EX, that would be good. That would be really good for us. We'd, like, need that Melody Boss on Mew. Yep. Alright, take the Mew. Take your 2 press cards. How do we follow up from there? Do we have a line we could take? Ah, gosh. I guess promote Toedscruel EX. Same thing, and we gotta go... No, because now we can't Briar. Gosh. If I could Briar, take 2 prize cards, and then just retreat, keep retreating Pokemon, using different attackers, we might have been able to pull it off. Now there's, like, no chance, though. Nothing. Oh, boy. Oh boy. How did you even get 20 damage done? Oh, from Budew. That's right. I was like, how do you even get 20 damage done? I'm one-shotting everything. Budew's not one-shotting anything. Yep. I think this one hurts. I think this is just a bad match through and through. We fought well. I mean, we set up amazing. You know, like, we came to play. We did what we needed to do. It's not... Yeah, and I get Briar. That's a shame. I could have gone in with Ogerpon, used Briar, taken 2 prize cards. That would have been sweet. But, like, I take a KO here, I Iono you to 1, and you just search for 3. You search for Energy, Boss, and Vitality Band or something like that, right? Yeah, because you don't even need that. You just take out Toedscruel, or this Toedscruel. It don't matter. Alright. I mean, we'll see. Maybe. There is a world, maybe. You know, we can try to pull something off. I'll bump their stadium. Maybe they won't be able to find it or something like that. I don't know. I'll try, though. I'll try to do what I can. We will attach this Energy to this Toedscruel in case I need a beefy backup attacker. And we'll go Iono. Don't want to research. Don't want to deck myself out. Want to Iono. Give myself 4 cards. Give my opponent 1. And this is a perfect hand. Phenomenal hand. I don't know if I've ever seen better. We'll Energy switch. I'm not going to use a single prize Toedscruel at all anymore, because now it's too much of a liability. Then my opponent's at 1 prize card remaining. So we'll do this, and then I will flip the script. And I'm not going to Teal Dance. I don't want to, just in case. I don't want to Nest Ball. I want to make sure I don't deck out. Might need that to Iono. I guess I could look for Boss, but, like, don't matter at this point. It could matter. Alright, I'll Teal Dance. I'll Teal Dance. Why not? And I still have a backup Toedscruel, which is nice too. And I got another energy. Alright, sweet. We'll swing on 60, take our KO. Gosh, how do we do this? I don't know. I have no idea. They search for 3 cards every turn and we get boss's orders. Alright, I guess if they don't... What do they need to take the KO? They need... To search for 3 cards, they need Festival Lead, or Festival Grounds. They need an Energy, they need Max Belt. They got those 3, they win. And in the deck. Not even in hand. They don't need any of those in hand. They got 3 Boom Boom Grooves. Oh, gosh. They don't need Boss. I guess Boss would be... No, you would still need a damage modifier. Unless it... No, because if you just Boss up Toedscruel. Okay. You need that, or replace Max Belt with Boss's Orders. And you could take the Toedscruel and do the same exact thing. Bug Catching Set. Maybe they don't have an energy. Maybe they whiff the energy. Maybe. Energy was not whiffed. Energy was not whiffed. Yep, there's one. What's the next? There's the stadium. You didn't even use all your Boom Boom Grooves. You don't even need to, do you? You just got it like that. I'll hit him with the thumbs up. That was a good match. Boom Boom Groove. Boss or Max Belt, and you got game. I'm confident you got both of those. One sec, sorry. I apologize. The sneezes are killing me this morning. I am getting hammered. It's just like, I don't know, like congestion sneezes. Like, I don't know. I'm lost. I'm alright. I'm chilling. I don't feel sick anymore. It's just I'm getting hammered with that. And my opponent hasn't done too much other than search for cards. I'm just waiting them out. I don't know. I got nothing left to yap about. They've got it. They're wasting time, aren't they? Maybe they don't have the KO. Maybe I'm saying they're wasting time and they're actually not. They're actually like stuck. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? If that's the case, I retreat into Toedscruel, swing. Then retreat into Ogerpon, swing. Then retreat. I need another Ogerpon? No. Okay, so that was all for nothing. I hate to concede, but my opponent did so much to just waste time there. And I think that's kind of rude. If you got it like that, just do it. It's not like you're doing some cool 8 quadrillion damage. If you're doing some cool 8 quadrillion damage like Valid, honestly, I'd want to see that too. Dude, you've done it 4 times. Just take the boss KO. Unfortunate. Match number 2. Let's hop into match number 3. Toedscruel still a menace. Meta matchups, I'm confident we could take. Festival Leads, I didn't have that on my to-do list of decks I would beat with this. So, I'll see y'all in match number 3. Welcome to match number 3. We seem to be up against Charizard EX. A long conquered matchup with this deck. It's still difficult though. I can't say long conquered. This actually is still a bit of a difficult matchup. We just have so many options to deal with this deck. It's not even funny. Especially if they don't get down a Budew here. Oh, and I realized why I'm having all these sneezing fits. I forgot to take my Dayquil this morning. Did I do that in between these matches? No, the thought hit me as I just got into the match. I'm like, whatever, I'm here now, let's ball. So, yeah. It's like I have done this YouTube stuff before. I've made at least 2 videos in my life. You would think I would find a benefit in doing that, but no, I just didn't think. I just turned off my brain and said, whatever, we're balling. My opponent did not get down a Toedscool. I thought for sure they would go, TME, what? Wait. Huh? Still no Toedscool. I'm so lost. I am so unbelievably lost. I thought for sure both TM Evos wasted. 0 cards in hand. All vibes. I respect it. I respect the game my opponent is playing. We are playing checkers. They are playing chess. Safe to say I'm not Ionoing this turn. That I can assure you. Honestly, I might even research still. I'm losing Rod, yes, but just to get that much more ahead feels pretty awesome. I am gonna energy switch onto Toedscruel. No, wait, am I? Is there's still no cancel? Man, alright. was going to say I could energy switch there. I could actually potentially pull off an attack this turn, but no, I can't. I'm just going to research. Not going to play that Iono. I couldn't pull off the attack no matter what. All right, that makes me feel a bit better. So we'll get another Ogerpon down. I will use Nest Ball for another Toedscool just in case. I guess I could have gone in with Budew this turn, but like, for what? My opponent's not doing too much, and I'll just pass. Now, next turn. The reason I was setting up Toedscool is more effective to tank a shot in the early game. I'd rather attack with that. A fully set up Ogerpon can in fact one-shot a fully set up Charizard, though, assuming they got the energy needed. Doesn't seem like my opponent's got all that. Am I going to research again? Probably. I am going to bin Mew. We are also going to lose an Area 0 Underdepths, so it hurts a bit, and I'm whiffing everything. Okay. Alright, this is fine. We'll Teal Dance, and I'll obviously get Toedscruel, right? I'll say it again. We'll obviously get Toedscruel EX, right? Yeah, same thing. Okay. Oh, I got worried. We have 1 in the deck. I prized 2. Cool. Awesome. I love this game. Well, that's fine. I mean, honestly, my opponent has a very, very bad setup based on the complete top deck mode we're looking at. And honestly, at this point, I'm fine to take a prize card 2 extra. Toedscruel? No, Energy Switch. That's a good card. That's a good card. I do have Iono. I will not be playing Iono. There's no shot that is getting played. Area 0 Underdepth is pretty cool. Don't really need it in this matchup. We're swinging for an insane amount anyways. Briar is going to be better because I am much more likely to use Ogerpon in this matchup than almost any other matchup. And they are going to attach an energy down on their other Charmander. We're going to get a Night Stretcher, which is pretty cool. I could take an energy back with that. I honestly don't see the biggest benefit. I think I'm just going to swing for KO on Manaphy and wait and see what my opponent's got in store. We'll take another prize cards. I now only need to KO 2 Charizard EXs, and we got game. My opponent could have a decent follow-up. If they do, if they top deck Iono, if they top deck Arven, and they're able to get going with Arven if they have Charizard, or actually Vercandy wouldn't do it. This is why I don't know why they wasted their Evos. If they didn't waste their Evos, they could have gone Charmeleon. Like, they could have promoted this Charmander and used TM Evo to get Pidgeotto and Charmeleon, and then it's just they're more likely to draw out of their bricked hand. But no, they just wasted them early. Just went into top deck mode. It was a bold play. They actually had 2 TM Evos, so they could have evolved twice into Pidgeot EX. Yeah, they probably shouldn't have TM Evo'd into Charizard EX, but that's fine. Again, Pidgeot could have been out by now. They got another Buddy Buddy Puffin. We'll see if there is a Duskull line in their deck. If there's not, I mean, we're gonna run through them at this point. Now they'd fail. They don't play Duskull, or they prize both Duskulls. Either way, I don't know what's going on, but I'm not gonna complain too hard. I'm just going to do my thing, get my energy attached, play the game I'm here to play, and see when and if my opponent's got a follow-up. We got boss. Charizard is scary with Charizard, but a bricked Charizard without their only Pidgey is a lot less scary than anything else, so I'll take a boss KO on that. The reason I didn't boss KO a Charmander with an energy attached is because obviously I knew I could do it next turn. No, it's because they had 2 Charmanders with energy attached. If they got Rare Candy Charizard, they had Charizard set up anyways. I don't think that's something I'm scared of right now. Pidgey was the biggest game changer for them, so I'd rather just get that out of there. They do have Nest Ball. They could get a Rotom V down, potentially. That could be interesting. Kind of get them some instant charge, draw them a new hand. If that's the case, I am going to boss KO it. I am 100%. No, they get Radiant Charizard. Well, if I've ever seen a Pokemon I want to boss KO, it's that guy. Do I have the energy? I don't. I've got 80. Actually, no, I've got 160 on the dot. We're good. I was going to say I could Night Stretcher for a basic grass energy down. Just attach it to Toedscool. I still honestly might do that. Onto Toedscruel EX. Then boss KO Radiant Charizard, because that is the only Pokemon that might take a KO. As of right now, they could still get Rare Candy Charizard. It's just in the complete top deck mode they're in. They're going to need a lot to pull that off. Or one Iono. One Iono could get them the hand they need to do that. And they're down, what, 3 Buddy Buddy Puffins? So they actually might not... They might have some trouble getting Pidgey back in play, too, for a Pidgeot line, which is great. And I think my opponent is considering if it's worth staying in the game right now. They are going to decide that it is. I'm going to get the top deck energy onto Toedscruel. I'm going to boss KO Charizard. Yes, I can Night Stretcher Teal Dance. I don't need to beat this guy up anymore. I think for now, we'll just start working up on a backup attacker, which can clean up whatever Charizard EX my opponent throws at us, and we'll be alright. We'll be okay. And if they do KO our active, and that's actually... they do. There's the Arven, alright. If they do KO my active, pull something off. I got Fez. It's a draw 3. Like, we'll be cool. We'll be cool. This is Arven, not Iono. We're keeping our hand. They get Ultra Ball Defiance Span. They can Ultra Ball into Charmeleon, but they would have to get rid of every card in their hand, and they are going to. And they get rid of a rare candy. Honestly, valid. No. What? I got no words, man. Why didn't you take the Charmeleon? Whatever. I can't. I'm not gonna save my opponent's game for him. I'm just gonna play my game, and that's going to involve a simple attack. Then we'll see if my opponent has a follow-up for the next turn. I think at this point we've just got game on board, though. I guess if they Iono us to 1, we could be looking at a couple problems. Maybe I should have benched Fez just in case that was the rare candy needed. It wasn't. It was a fire energy. So they got Charizard EX in hand. That's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I will, yeah, a little bit more. Just pass so I can attack and get going. Okay, there it is. Yep. Anyways, that is gonna wrap it up for today's video with Toedscruel EX. Dude, this deck is so much fun to play. It's so simple. Like, the lines are different, but the concept, the theory to understand the deck, to play the deck, like the skill level required to just function with Toedscruel is low, and every now and then that is a nice switch up. You don't have to do much thinking. It's like you either got it against decks like Charizard, which honestly is a great matchup. I know my opponent didn't really get the ball rolling, but we were chilling, so I like showing off, you know, when just setting up and just being comfortable and just showing how the deck can function when undisturbed. You just get a kind of clean playthrough. But also against Festival Leads. There's some matchups, like every deck, where it's very hard to come back. It's very hard to keep pace. Single prize decks, I mean, it's like Raging Bolt. Single prize decks dominate Raging Bolt. Same kind of thing with Toedscruel. We don't have the bench attack damage. If there's a grass Pokemon that gets that in the future, and we can attack multiple Pokemon at once with Toedscruel, then I think we're gonna see a much better all-around versatile, can take way more matchups, you know, Toedscruel deck. But for now, this deck cooks, and I definitely recommend giving it a shot. With that being said, hope you guys are having an awesome day. Can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and just appreciate the community we got, because I appreciate y'all so much. With that being said, stay epic. Peace.